Hey everybody, welcome back to another video here. So we are doing something kind of different today. We're doing a back to the basics series. So we're just gonna learn the fundamentals of some fishing stuff. So my dad, he suggested this video. Honestly, I think he suggested it because he hasn't been fishing for a while, so he needed some pointers, but that's alright. So for today's back to the basic episode, we're going to do how to adjust your baitcaster so you're not going to backlash. So, right away, one of the most important things is matching up your line, the reel, the rod, and the lure. So, this is a 7-foot medium heavy rod, fast tip, and we have this paired up with a 1/4 ounce chatterbait. And this rod is rated to 1/4 to up to 1 ounce lures. So honestly, or 1/4 to 3/4 ounce lures. So this lure matches up perfectly to this rod and this heavier braided line. So that matches up well with everything else. And this reel is 7/1 to 1, so a little bit faster, but that's what I like for the techniques that I use this rod for. So let's get into it right away. So starting off, I like to have my drag cinched down pretty tight. Since I have heavier braided line, I don't really have to worry too much about playing with the drag or anything like that. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is have your brakes at 0, your magnetic brakes here on the side. And then your spool tension knob, you're just going to click that down until it's pretty loose. So starting off, we have our rod tip higher, and you're going to click your spool release button. And you're going to let that lure drop. So it's dropping pretty fast because we have the spool tension knob way loose. I'll show you this. So when you have it real loose like this and you click the button, what's going to happen is once that lure hits the ground, you're going to backlash. So if you look right here at the reel, once you click that, you let that drop and it hits. I stopped it a little bit, but you get a backlash. So let's adjust this. So what I like to do is I like to start and I like to crank my spool tension knob down until it's tight, and that lure, once you have your rod tip up, it's not dropping. And so then I like to slowly back down my spool tension knob until it starts dropping. And then when it hits the ground, this is the key, when it hits the ground and you don't you don't have any extra, you don't backlash, that's how you know you haven't adjusted right. So we're clicking, it's falling, hits the ground, and we're not having any extra line coming off of the reel. So honestly, we could probably click it. This one clicks, this reel does, this spool tension knob. Others don't, so we backed off one more, and we're gonna see, yeah, still good. And then what usually I like to do is I like to set the brakes, these magnetic brakes, I like to set them to about half to start with. And that's good for a lot of different things. And once you get going and you're casting and maybe you say you need a little extra, you turn this up or do another click on your spool tension knob just to help you out a bit. But yeah, this is going to help prevent any backlashing. This is how you tune your rod up. A couple things about line. So when you're starting out, I would recommend braided line, just because it's easier to cast. You're not going to get as much backlash. The problem with backlashes with braided line is they're harder to pick out compared to mono and fluorocarbon. So with mono and fluoro though, you tend to get more backlashes if you're not adjusted well, but the backlashes tend to be easier to get out. But that's going to do it for this episode of Back to the Basics. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. We're going to do a ton more in this series, so thanks Dad for suggesting it. But I hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time.